And I've never seen us do anything racial. I've never seen us have bad signs. I've never seen us, break anything, ruin anything. All we do is pick up and clean up and take care of things and, and have respect. Because that's how we were raised, And so we went out in this thing, and from my viewpoint, we thought, well, you just got to elect the right people, everything will be okay. That was kind of the idea. And it didn't turn out to be that way. Didn't turn out to be that way. I kind of use this analogy that it's like we thought that we need to take back our house and it just needed some new paint and maybe some new faucets and dress it up and we'd be okay. The problem is when we got to our house and we opened the door and came inside, we found out it's a movie set. It's not even a house. And then we started saying, like I used to tell people, we're kind of like when you're remodeling an old house, you're kind of, getting a rotten windowsill and you're kind of digging it out until you get to good wood. You get all the rot out and you get to the good wood. Well, we're pretty much in the basement and haven't found any good wood yet. Okay, I'm starting to look at prehistoric logs. Okay, Native American Indians buried these things. Okay, there's no there. And so that's how this has been a journey. Because throughout this journey, think about it. We got involved, it started in the summer of 2009 when the congressional people came home and we had those town hall meetings and everybody said we were so rude and we challenged all these congressmen and, said we didn't want them to do these things. And then, we beat back cap and trade and we beat back some of the other crazy ideas they had. But Obamacare just kept marching on. And we went to Washington. How many of you went to 9/11 to Washington, D.C. on the big bus trip? 1 million people. 1 million people. Nan and I in the Portage County Tea Party were in the front row. We were the first seats right along the fence. Okay, we took 7 buses to that event. And we were fired up, and we thought we could make a difference. And then they just kept pushing it forward. And then it was the Scott Brown fight, right? We needed 60 votes. Ted Kennedy passes away, and Scott Brown runs, and it's like, there's no way Republicans going to win in Massachusetts. Can't win. And I don't know, some of you may remember, but I was the one that sent out the email the Thursday or Wednesday night before the election that following Tuesday, where I said, I think he can win and we need to do something. And Ohio got on the phone. And Ohio donated money. Scott Brown had this thing on his website where you could click and make phone calls from Ohio to people in Massachusetts. And we came out in droves. And he raised, in 24 hours, he raised like $4 million. And he was completely behind. And we did that. Because we thought, that's the process. That's what you do, right? This is the system. This is how it works. Get involved. Let's be part of the process. It didn't matter, did it? We elected Scott Brown, and what did they do? They bribed Bart Stupak, right? They bought him off. They bribed him for his vote so that they could pass Obamacare against the will of the people and just jam it down our throats. And so it just kind of kept going like that. We followed the rules. We learned the law better than anybody. I blame Glenn Beck for that. He's made us all constitutional lawyers. Glenn Beck, read this book, read that book. Patriot's Guide for American History is 900 pages. That's no easy read. Read Federalist Papers. Whoa, that'll give you a headache. But it's amazing. It was amazing to me how little I knew about my country. How little I knew about how it works. How little I knew about the process. What's a central committee? How does county government get organized? Why do you have townships? I didn't know any of that. I do now. Got quite an education in American civics. And obviously I didn't get that education from the public school system, did I? Because they don't teach that anymore. But if you're going to be self-governing, you've got to understand how it works, don't you? That's what makes us unique. I saw the 5,000-Year Leap book on the table back there.
Great book.
If you don't read that book, you don't understand. When the president questioned whether we were exceptional, and he said all nations are exceptional, that's just simply not true.
That's right.
This nation is one of a kind.
Amen.
Read that book, it'll explain to you why we're one of a kind. Okay? It's about things like property rights, which until America didn't exist for the common person. You couldn't own property. You can't own property in 99% of the governments in the country and in the world today. It's about a nation ruled by what? Law, right? A land of law, where whether you were the richest person or the poorest person, the laws are the same. That's unique, folks. That didn't happen. That didn't exist before the United States of America. And that's what we're fighting for. That's what we're talking about, okay? Because we're in a time where we've kind of forgotten about the fundamentals of what made America great and why individual liberty and freedom is the difference. Why do we have all this creativity? Why do we have the ideas like the internet? And why were we the first? I just watched a thing about putting the man on the moon, and I'm so thankful that I lived in America when we did that. Why did we do that? Because of individual freedom and liberty. You know what that means? Individual freedom and liberty means that if I want to try to build a rocket or a jet plane, that I have the ability to strap myself in that and kill myself trying. Okay? But that's no small thing. Because guess what? Today they wouldn't let you do it. Look at your house. I've got a gas stove, right? Gas furnace, hot water tank. Could you imagine if you were inventing natural gas and you were going to pipe it into homes today? The obstacles that would face you? Do you understand what I'm talking about here?
Yep.
I'm talking about something that fundamental. You couldn't do it today because of rules and regulations, because of governance telling you that they know better than you what's right for you. Okay? And that's the underlying thing that we're fighting. That's what this is really about. That's why you're here. The freedom and liberty to be what you can be. Okay? And that's what's under assault. And we feel it. And we feel this great nation grinding to a halt. We feel it, right? I mean, today was a very disturbing day today. On one hand, how can you not be elated by Abraham Lincoln's Gettysburg Address? How can you not listen to those words and understand how great we are as a nation, as a people? People who died, laid down their lives in the hundreds of thousands for the freedom of others. Read your history. It doesn't happen. They do it for conquest. They do it to take, not to give. And why? Why? We're next to a church. We're next to a place of worship. We're here in this hall because the foundation of this hall is Judeo-Christian values.
Amen.
It's that simple. It's as simple as this. How can you have a representative form of government, which is what we have? We don't have a democracy, right? They keep telling you, democracy, democracy. We're not a democracy. We're a representative republic. That means Dale represents you, right? If Dale's a liar, how does that work? Isn't it that simple? So I had the writer for the Plain Dealer, Gomez, talking to me a little while ago, and he said to me, Tom, you Tea Party people, you were taxed enough already. You were about balance the budget, cut the debt. You were all on fiscal issues. Why are you getting into these social issues? Why are you guys going there now? Because remember, they all warned us, don't go there. You can't go there. Well, what did we learn in 4.5 years? We learned that if you don't have values, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Who elected John Kasich? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Raise your hand. You did. You did. Nobody else did. You did. What's that? And we're sorry about that, okay? But understand, John Kasich won by 77,000 votes, okay? 3 days before the election, he's losing. He's at the Portage County Tea Party at Maplewood Career Center for one of the biggest rallies he had. The Cleveland media are there. We got 300 people in the room, and we're fired up.